What's happening, Marvel fans? I am Dial here with some movie news. So, Fantastic Four, they have officially casted Galactus. So, the first news we should actually talk about is Galactus is actually going to be the main villain of the new Fantastic Four film for the MCU, but they have officially casted him, and his name is Ralph Ineson. I have never heard of this individual. Never heard of him at all. So I don't know if I'll have that much to say about this guy, but apparently he's been in a lot of things that I didn't even realize. So Ralph Ineson was in Harry Potter. I didn't know that. He must have been one of the minor characters. I don't even know which Harry Potter movies he was in. So whenever I go back to rewatch those, I have to look out for him, or I'll just look it up on the cast list, whatever. But he's been in a lot of things. He's been in The Witch, Game of Thrones. What else was he in? A lot of stuff. The First Omen, The Creator, the Gareth Edwards movie that came out last year, The Northman, and he's about to be in the new Nosferatu movie. So yeah, this guy's resume is pretty good. So like I said, I never knew who this actor was, so I literally had to look up interviews to see like his presence and if how is his voice, because if you guys know Galactus from the comics, he has a very commanding presence and a booming voice. And I heard Ralph in an interview, and I instantly, the moment I heard him talk, I was like, oh, I get. Oh, yeah, I see why they picked him as a Galactus. I think he's going to be really good. Dude, you just look up an interview with him. Just and listen to him talk. Ralph Ineson, his voice is it's so nice. It would fit perfectly for Galactus. So I am very interested to see what he's going to do. Now, my question is he going to actually act? Are they going to do motion capture on him? Are they going to put him in costumes? Or is he just going to, is he going to voice act and, Galactus is going to be a CGI construct completely? That's going to be the question. Now, as far as my feelings on them using Galactus as the first villain for this new Fantastic Four, I don't know how to feel about it. I didn't think they would start out with Silver Surfer and Galactus, but that's what they're doing. I honestly think Galactus is something you should build up to, because he could be an Avengers level threat, So he could actually be an Avengers villain if they wanted him to, and he still probably could be. He could pop in numerous films, but I don't know, man. It feels too big for them to start with this, but I could be wrong. We could actually see the movie, and Silver Surfer and Galactus could be handled really well. So I'm gonna reserve my judgments until I see a trailer or actually see it in the context. It has to be better than what they did with the Tim Story movies, with Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. It got to be better than that. Like, you don't have a high bar to beat. And as long as you don't make Galactus a giant cloud again, it's already going to be better than that. So I'm just hoping whenever they do a Galactus, it'll work. I don't really have that many doubts with Ralph, because just hearing his voice alone, I'm like, yes, I think he could do it. I'm just wondering how they're going to have him look, because I know that's one of the things that fans of the Fantastic Four and Marvel in general are concerned about them doing Galactus today, because I hear a lot of arguments that Galactus is kind of a goofy character. Appearance wise, because he was wearing purple and the big helmet and stuff like that, and then a lot of people are saying that Galactus is not really much of a character. He's more of a plot device, more of like the just a consequence or a threat. And that's one of the other reasons why people are apprehensive of having Galactus be done in live action. And to that, I say, have you guys learned yet? It feels like you guys have not learned by now. We have had over 10 years of these obscure C level, D level Marvel characters that we never thought would work in live action. I was poo pooing on Ant-Man, and that movie was such an enjoyable film. We were so scared when they said that they were going to do Guardians of the Galaxy. And they made three films that are universally loved. And they freaking did Ego, the Living Planet, and they somehow made that work. Like, come on now. Like, why do we still continue to doubt that Marvel can take these really obscure characters and make them work in live action? Now, have there been some instances where it hasn't worked? Sure, there's been some missteps here and there, Eternals. But for the most part, when it comes to Marvel casting and when it comes to them elevating these obscure characters, for the most part, they do a really good job with doing that. Now, as far as the story and the writing, it's been questionable the past couple years, ever since Phase 4 started. But I don't have any doubt that they will do Galactus really, really well, And I do have some faith that the MCU will get X-Men right correctly. Will get them right eventually when they come to the MCU. I have faith that they will get X-Men right, and they will be better than the stuff we got from 20th Century. Now I know there's other casting that they announced for Fantastic Four, like John Malkovich in an unknown role, and so I don't have much to say about that, to be honest. I'm sure he'll be good in whatever they decide to put him in. He could be, I don't know, he could be Puppet Master, which I think that would be interesting if they put Puppet Master in the Fantastic Four film. He could be the mailman for all I care, so anything's possible. And there's a couple of other, people that they announced were going to be in the film that are in unknown roles, and, I could speculate all day who they could play, but, I'll just wait and see what the actors actually play in the film, But it would be nice if we got more Fantastic Four villains outside of Doctor Dooms and Galactus. So I'm hoping they'll be able to expand more on the Fantastic Four Rogues Gallery in the MCU, because they do have a Rogues Gallery. They do have that. They actually have villains. They have a bunch of people: Mole Man, Puppet Master, Annihilus, a lot more Kang the Conqueror, but that kind of but yeah, they do have villains, so we'll see what happens. But those are my thoughts on Galactus being casted in the Fantastic Four. What do you guys think about this casting? Are you guys fans of Ralph Ineson? Do you think he'll do a good job? Do you think it's a good idea for them to start a Fantastic Four film with Galactus? Do you think it'll be better than the previous time they tried to do Silver Surfer and Galactus? Let me know your thoughts down below.